Europe by train. For generations of backpackers, interrailers, and, well, for me, it's what travel's all about. And in Germany, the railways are booming, partly because of this. It's called the Deutschland ticket. It costs me 49 euros a month, and it allows me almost unlimited use of the country's regional public transport network. It was a cost of living measure introduced in 2023, initially at just 9 euros each. I do love a train, who doesn't? So I'm planning to take them to crisscross the country and get a better look at the close relationship between Germans and their railways. From Berlin's iconic U-Bahn to the incredible hanging overhead railway of the industrial West, to the makeshift island trains of the northern coast. We've got the birds flying, the water, the lights. This is stunning. I'm here to see how engineering and a bit of imagination have led to a network like no other. With almost 40,000 kilometers of track, Germany's rail network is the longest in Europe, which makes it the perfect place to explore by train. But from Berlin's vast central station, I'm taking an even cheaper form of transport for a spot of sightseeing. All right, we're doing it. We're crossing the tramway. Fabulous. Oh, it's beautiful. I can see a TV tower on my left, and it's so cloudy, the tip of it is just unseen. Alexanderplatz is these days the touristic heart of the capital. Until 1989, it was the main public square in communist East Berlin. So I was born in 1990, which is a year after the Berlin Wall came down. So for myself, and I'm sure for generation younger, there's no recollection of those news events. So being able to be here and just get a sense of what it might have been like feels quite special. By 1989, the Berlin Wall had forcibly divided the city for 28 years, with the communists controlling the eastern part of the city, whilst the capitalist West controlled the rest of Berlin. Travel between the two was strictly controlled, and in most cases, forbidden. But I'm heading down into the U-Bahn, Berlin's underground rail network, which I can access with the Deutschland ticket. Okay, U8 this way. Ooh. Now, Alexanderplatz was in the east, so anybody getting on the U-Bahn, 3 stops in that direction, had to wait on board until they got safely 4 stops down that way. This was effectively a ghost station. They were manned, guarded, you definitely just could not get off. Athena Kerins leads tours for a group called Berlin Underworlds, which explores the tunnels and passageways underneath the city. So Alexanderplatz would have been a ghost station, really eerie. What would that have been like?
So for the West Berliners coming through, it would have been dark, a little bit eerie, just the glowing emergency exit signs, maybe a bit of light creeping in from the tunnels itself. For the East Berliners, it would have been completely different because they weren't allowed to know about this at all. Because if they knew that it was coming through here, they might be tempted to try to get into the train station or the tunnels and use them to escape.
But even before those 28 years of division, the tunnels down here harbored secrets. Athena's taking me to one of the World War II bomb shelters built into the U-Bahn network. Oh, wow.
Welcome to our bunker.
How long would they have stayed down here?
As the war progressed, and especially as the Americans joined the war, the Americans bombed in the day, the British bombed at night, and towards the Battle of Berlin, when there was also street fighting, people were down here days on end.
It's quite interesting because you can hear rumbling going past. So
they get that big rumbling passing noise all the time.
would they have been aware that this bunker was here?
You mean the
passengers? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because this place was used primarily for people who were in the transit system and during a bombing raid had to come somewhere. The people in here were lucky.
As we go a few stops up the U8 line, Athena takes me forward in time to a later shelter, a symptom of Berlin's position on the fault line of the historic tensions between East and West.
Welcome to Punkstrasse.
So this is the bunker? Or there's a bunker nearby?
We're in the bunker already because this entire station is the bunker. It was originally opened in 1977 to be a multi-purpose facility. So it's both a train station, as you just saw, but also in a 48-hour preparation period, it can be turned into an atomic fallout shelter. So this is some of our many, many, many dormitories. A big luxury here is that we actually all get our own bed, which is not standard for bunkers like this. We have several dormitories, but on top of that, about 2,000 people would have to be sleeping on the train platform itself.
This is the pillow they would sleep on?
That's the blanket and the pillow. They are quite literally paper.
Oh, wow. So this is a kitchen essentially for everybody.
This is not a kitchen, this is the kitchen.
The kitchen.
This place is going to feed 3,339 people 2 meals a day. Thankfully, we're not eating anything too glamorous. It's mostly going to be soups, assorted soups out of the cans. In this can is actually a dehydrated, jellified soup concentrate rather than normal soup.
This is giving me sort of 1970s lab.
Yes, already a step above the last one. There is, in fact, a ventilation system here. So this place isn't going to protect us from a direct hit of a bomb, but in theory, if the rest of the world goes to war, this place can protect us from the radioactive fallout.
Okay. While this now looks like a relic of a bygone era, the German government's recently been investigating the possibility of restoring bunkers like these for use in the future.
I know immediately following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the topic came up a lot in Germany. And the Ministry for the Interior did do a preliminary survey. Because in the height of the Cold War, there were quite literally thousands of these places around all of Germany. Most of the experts in the areas of civil defense have agreed that it's not really a productive use of money. It costs an insane amount of money to even just repair the ones that they've let fall into disrepair.
But I'm surfacing for some fresh air now, and back to the Hauptbahnhof, the capital's modern main station, in search of trains bound for Germany's industrial west.
So I've been able to use my Deutschland ticket for this, but the big restriction is that you can't use it on the high-speed trains. So it's going to take probably twice the amount of time to actually travel around.
You do need a bit of patience for this. You can buy a more expensive ticket and travel direct, but the cut price method means changing trains 5 times.
So I may have missed this one. Wait, it's also late, so that means that I'll be fine.
Add to that the uncharacteristic delays and disruption that have dogged the German railway network in recent times, you'll need to leave plenty of time to make your connections.
5 minutes delay, that means we're good, right? Oh, so I have missed it. We've missed it.
It's also quite fiddly to buy. You need to subscribe to a Deutschland ticket, which means a monthly direct debit. So if you're only here for a couple of weeks, you need to remember to cancel that as soon as your trip's over. Otherwise, you continue paying after you've headed home. My next stop is in the west of the country, not far from the industrial giants that have made this part of the world such an economic force.
So this is Wuppertal. It's sandwiched between the two powerhouses of Cologne and Dortmund. It's much smaller in comparison, but it does have one thing going for it that's made it world famous. And it's right there.
The Schwebebahn is a suspended monorail. The carriages hang from a track about 12 meters above the streets and rivers of Wuppertal.
Hello. Hi, Inge.
I'm meeting Inge Canters, who grew up riding the Schwebebahn and even got married on it back in 2006.
It was built in 1893 or 4, but only in 1901 it was ready. And then you could go from one town to the other.
That's over 120 years that this has
Yes.
been standing here.
Yes,
What do you think was the impression of the residents when they first saw this?
they were impressed, I think, said it's,
What is this?
yes, exciting.
Yeah.
They feared it because they thought the Saturn could come and take them away or something like that. They didn't want the Schwebebahn.
Okay, it's coming. We're getting on.
Yes, okay.
Where shall we sit? Shall we stand? I kind of want to feel it
Yes, yeah.
move. It's like
Hold
a-
on.
Oh, hold on.
Yes.
It's going to move a lot. Okay, you hold on
Wow.
to this one. It does feel like it's sort of hovering,
Yes.
levitating. A little bit bumpy, but it's okay. It's pretty smooth. And so what are some of your memories being on here?
It was very funny. My grandma, she came to Wuppertal the first time in 1953. She stood at the street and looked up and said, "How can you come into the Schwebebahn?"
Because she couldn't see that there was the
Yeah.
platform.
Yes.
What do you think it represents to the people here?
I think they like it because it's the only in the world, but I think they like to go from one place to the other in a short time. I think about 85,000 people a day they take it.
Given all that history, it's a bit of a surprise there's been no proper museum to the Schwebebahn. But just as I arrive, all that's about to change. Tomorrow, the Schwebedrome opens, and I'm here to meet its managing director, Thomas Helbig, as he makes the final few preparations.
Come in.
Hello, Tom. How are you doing?
Fine. It's great that you're coming here.
Thank
Yes.
you. I'm excited. It's looking
Yes.
good. Do you have anything left that you need to do today before
Well,
tomorrow?
we have to clean up a little bit, but we are to 95 to 98%. We are ready, and it's great that you're coming here to our Schwebebahn experience. Emily, please enter the first room. It's our projection world, and here we tell the story of mobility. Why it was necessary to build a Schwebebahn, because population increased massively in the middle of the 19th century, and the industrialization came.
As well as the projection, there are reminders of what the carriages look like through the ages.
And then, of course,
Oh,
this is like this,
bouncy.
but you can't lean back.
A Lego diorama of Wuppertal, but la pièce de résistance is at the end.
Emily, let's just enter the carriage number 11. Here you see you can still open the windows, for example. Just put them on,
Ooh.
make them ding. The brain really, after 5 seconds, you're on the world of 1929 and you really think you're making a left or a right turn. A lot of people thought that it is against God, it's too speedy, that it's too much metal over the river, that it looks ugly. All the people who didn't have the vision that this would change the mobility in the valley completely.
The next day, and the grand opening attracts quite a crowd.
was that for you? How are you feeling?
It was very emotional, and I'm really happy that it's now open.
All of the hard work.
Yes.
Oh, I can feel the emotion.
Yes, I think people will come here and then they will see what a history Wuppertal has to tell and what a lovely town it is. And they will go back to their hometown and they will tell, well, we had a really good day in Wuppertal.
I'm using the Deutschland ticket to head north now, out of Germany's cities and to its coast. In the summer, the trains up here get busy with beach lovers, but the sunshine and crowds have thinned a little by the time I arrive.
Oh wow, okay. Very, very windy, and this is Schleswig-Holstein in the northwest of Germany. Any further north and I'll be arriving in Denmark.
From here, I'm heading out over the Wadden Sea, but it's not a boat I'll be taking.
This is amazing. Fabulous. Pleasure to meet you. Hello. Emeline. So this is the Laurenbahn.
Ja, komm, wir fahren nach Holland.
The Laurenbahn trains service the Hallig Islands, which are cut off from the mainland by flooding up to 50 times a year. People living here use their little trains to get around. Each family has its own wagon or lorry, and everyone is unique. Claudia Nommensen has offered to give me a ride on hers.
You have to be very physically fit to do this, don't you? Oh, she's changing the rails across. Right. Got the birds flying, the water, the light. This is stunning. So, Claudia, when did the Laurenbahn start?
Ja, also vor 100 Jahren ist das so circa gebaut, über 100 Jahren gebaut worden. Und die ersten Loren fuhren mit Segeln. Das waren ganz wenige Loren nur und fuhren mit Segeln, immer wetterabhängig. Man musste meistens schieben. Erst sehr viel später kam dann ein Motor dazu. Da hat man ganz viel experimentiert und jetzt baut jeder die Lore so, wie er sie gerne haben möchte. Also wir müssen warten, es kommt eine Lore uns entgegen. Und die haben Vorfahrt, es gibt hier ganz klare Regeln und deshalb bin ich jetzt in die Weiche gefahren und lasse ihn durch und dann fahren wir weiter.
But there's a catch. As a tourist, you're not really supposed to use it unless you're staying over on the island.
Did someone show you how to do this?
Ja, mein Mann hat mir das gezeigt. Und dann muss man einfach damit klarkommen, ne?
Luckily for me, Claudia runs a bed and breakfast. Cauliflower. So do you feel that it's a shame that people can't come to use it unless they come and stay here?
Die Gäste, die hierher kommen, die haben sich natürlich vorher informiert. Die wissen, was eine Laurenbahn ist. Ja, das ist der Grund, warum viele kommen wollen. Ne? Wenn jetzt noch mehr Leute es wissen, dann kommen noch mehr Leute.
Would you want to have more tourists coming?
Also, ja, natürlich, aber ich bin auf 2 Jahre ausgebucht. Von daher, also die nächsten Gäste können dann in 3 oder 4 Jahren kommen.
The Laurenbahn wasn't actually built for the residents to get around. It belongs to and is run by Germany's State Department for Coastal Defense. Wow. Well, this is definitely a lot bigger than Claudia's. Nice. How does it start?
Here you can give power.
Can I try?
Yes.
Wow, Claudia did
Do
not
it.
let me do any of this. Okay.
Then you have to accelerate.
Oh, so the wheel is the accelerator?
Yes.
So did you have to learn how to ride this for the job?
Yes.
Was it a lot of fun?
much fun.
Nice fun. Engineer Fabian looked, agreed to show me their work, and he's picking me up on his Laurenbahn. So
We have to look there.
You have to look there. Oh yeah, of course.
So there you can see the summer deck of Holland.
Oh.
It's a small bump there.
Okay.
This deck protects the Hallig Islands for the summer floods, about 1 meter above the normal tide.
So there's times where all of this is flooded.
Yes. In some years there's 2 or 3 days a year, and in some years you have 30, 50 days. The climate change makes that the flood grows up every year 3 to 5 millimeters a year, and we have a change in the time slot of the flood. The flood stays a longer time.
Fabian's team has a job on its hands, not just to defend this land, but also to keep the Laurenbahn above the encroaching seas.
There you can see the old railway. Before we built up the new railway, you can't drive there because everything's underwater.
Okay, so originally that was the railway down there, and in the last couple of years you've raised it.
Yes.
In a country better known for its cars and autobahns, people's affection here for their trains has been a real eye-opener. Now, Germans are known for their engineering, but what has surprised me is seeing some of their creativity and flair. Engineering and a bit of imagination have led to a network like no other. And if the Deutschland ticket brings more people here to see it for themselves, that can only be a good thing. Fabian, los geht's.